Hey guys, MJ here from Nitecore Gear. Today we're going to look at the new Nitecore MT2A PRO, how it stacks up against other similar lights and why, in today's landscape of high-powered, high-capacity 18650 and 21700 batteries, why do we still have the need for AA battery lights? So let me give you some context. At 50 lumens, two AA batteries can power the light for 11 hours. A maxed out 21700 battery like this can power the light for 50 hours. That's 4.5 times longer. That means one of these is equal to 18 pieces of AA batteries. And this is rechargeable. Right, so for the sheer amount of cost and environmental savings, it only makes sense to use rechargeable batteries. But the biggest problem is you can't walk into any random convenience store anywhere in the world just to buy this type of batteries off the shelf. For AA batteries, you can. Even in disaster survival situations, you can find AA batteries in people's homes, remote controls, clocks, right, kids' toys. So this got me thinking about four very specific types of users that will go after the MT2A PRO. Right, the first is someone who needs AA battery lights for travel because of availability. One client was telling me that he absolutely hates waiting at cafes and hotels to charge his gear when he could be out doing actual adventuring. So with these, there's no wasting time waiting for it to charge. Just pop in new batteries and go. Second is someone who wants a slim yet bright light to fit a compact toolkit, mole webbing, pants pocket. AAA power lights like the MT06 here or the M10 here from Speras are slimmer, but they are not bright enough. The brightest one caps out at 250 lumens here. If you look at the next tier of 1000 lumen lights like the MH11, the P10, V2, right, these use 18650 batteries and will become too thick to fit. Right, if you can compare the size, these really are bigger. So AA size lights gives you a good fit while still packing a punch. Thickness also affects grip, which brings me to the third user, someone who wants an effective self-defense tool. If you have some experience with long or short blade striking and want to transfer the same mechanics over, right, without actually carrying a weapon, right, this is perfect because it sticks out enough to make a difference. Right, see this gap here? It's almost the same as something like this. This is much longer, of course. The MT2A PRO feels like a knife grip, right, with just enough coming out the bottom. Something like the MH11, right, it's too short, it's not enough for impact. SRT7R, yes, it sticks out too, but it's too big and too slow. The new beveled design makes it incredibly grippy. It's the same deep cut design as the new MH12 Pro, right, just on a smaller scale, and it works great even you have gloves in wet weather. The new grippy tube makes holding, drawing, holstering all easier, and you don't have to be so reliant on a lanyard loop for retention. The fourth user is someone who wants a backup to a main light, say the MH12 Pro. So if you ever find yourself stuck without any way to charge your lights via the USB port on all the modern lights, you at least have a light designed to use a different power source, right? You have options. The pros will call this packing for redundancy. Another true story from a client that went on a 10-day safari trip. One guy brought his fancy new camera with a kit full of lenses to capture the whole experience. But on the third day, his charger died. By the fourth day, his batteries died. And for the remaining 6 days, he couldn't use his camera at all. So packing for redundancy means making sure you have a backup of essential tools in your kit for what you need, which in his case, he should have brought 2 chargers. So that's similar to us relying on lights as our essential tools. Your main light dies and you don't have a USB port to charge it, you better make sure you have a separate light that you can still rely on that uses a different power source, which you can find or source or scavenge from. So if you have similar needs to any of the 4 types of users, then the MT2A PRO is perfect because it sits between too thin and too thick, and yet still packing a 1000 lumen punch. But you might be wondering, how does the MT2A PRO get 1000 lumens from just 2 AA batteries while the older MT2A only managed 345 lumens? It actually gets its power from a long NL1416R battery. At 1600 milliamperes, this is USB-C rechargeable here. So yes, you have to remove the battery to charge it. It goes from 0 to full in just 2 hours and will net you around 3 hours runtime on 300 lumens and a decent 1 hour 40 minutes on 1000 lumens, and at low mode 50 lumens this does an incredibly long 20 hours. This comes included with the light with a USB-C charging cable as well. So most guys will keep this inside until for some reason they need to swap out to AA batteries. Then the max output is 500 lumens for 2 hours and 60 lumens for 11 hours, which is still a big upgrade over the older MT2A. So it's very possible to not use the long battery and just run it off 2 AA batteries if you like. It's up to you. Before we get into controls and how it works, if you want to win this latest MT2A PRO, do subscribe to the channel below and comment on If you only had one advice for someone buying a flashlight for the first time, what would it be? Right, once we hit 500 likes, I'll pick the winner and announce them in the description box below. Now, how it works is also slightly different. The previous version, you couldn't change brightness unless you slightly untwist the head, right? Then on and off the tail cap. That's how you change brightness and get to strobe. So whenever you tighten the tail cap, it goes to turbo. The MT2A Pro gets rid of all that double-handed twisting in favor of a single button press, right, to cycle through the modes. Right, this here I'm doing half press. You can also full press the light and it also changes modes. Right, this does give you one-handed control, but you lose momentary signaling. Right, so when I try to signal 3 long, 3 short, it actually changes brightness instead. So if you need that signal function, right, then this is not the light for you. The LED has been upgraded to the new in-house UHI LED. Right, that is what gives it the brighter lumens. So here are some real-life beam shots of the MT2A Pro. These UHI LEDs have a very distinct round hotspot in the middle, quite defined and might be good or bad depending on what industry you're in. Swamp, mangrove kind of area. Right. Good spot to search, to point out items, things far away. Right, it's 1000 lumens. The beam throw is about 255 meters. So this is the kind of performance you get. You can bring it down. This is 60 lumens. 300 lumens, still very decent. One more time to turbo to bridge the problem. So you have a street lamp there, so you have some context of how the light actually looks like. Very nice. So do note the anti-roll design from the older MT2A has been removed. This stops it from rolling away on a slanted table. Right? The Pro version is completely round, so it does roll all the way if it's on a slant table. So I assume they're betting on the new pocket clip here. Only one place to install. You can't install it this way, only here. But 2 ways to clip in, on the front here or on the back here. So it's light enough to be clipped on a cap like this, or backpack strap like this for hands-free use. Lanyard is included. You can run it to your wrist or around your fist, this way for better retention. No holster because remember the thickness is designed to be as thin as possible to fit in your pocket and such, so it's not designed to be used on a belt. The older MT2A holsters do fit. Right here I'm using the MH12 Pro holster as well, so everything does fit if you're set on protecting it this way. Attachments wise, these do not fit any of the 23 or 25mm filters and cones, so do note if you need those, you're out of luck for now. Maybe later on Nitecore will release the right size and cones for these MT2A Pro. Right, so that's basically it. A simple, straightforward light that's designed around AA battery dimensions for worldwide travel and efficient self-defense. So should you get an MT2A Pro, right, if you're already using a 2 AA battery light or the older MT2A, then this will be a great upgrade because it does give you almost double the brightness, right, with a much improved grip and much lighter weight as well. This is only 40 grams. 40 grams. But if you're looking for a flashlight around the 1000 lumen mark with similar price range and don't care for AA batteries, then I recommend looking at other models like the MH11, P10, V2. Right, all of these are 1000 lumen lights as well from Nitecore that will outshine and outlast the MT2A Pro because of their larger battery. These are using 18650 batteries. If you look even further, for the same price but 2000 lumen and double the runtime, is the Spira's E21 here, an incredible performance light, but the problem is you can't remove the battery. It's a built-in charging port, so that's a huge thing to consider if you're looking for a backup light or need to swap and go overseas. But in terms of price, it's very close to the MT2A Pro. Now you know exactly where the MT2A Pro sits in Nitecore's lineup. Its users are quite targeted. For myself, I always take this when going to countries where I know I won't be able to recharge for a few days at a time. Plus the self-defense capability is always a plus point. Right, these are all in stock now at nitecorelights.com. There's a bulk discount option, so it's perfect if you're buying for the holiday season, right, for your team, family or friends. These type of AA battery lights will sell out soon, so order yours today. Once your order is placed, we'll courier everything to your door within a couple of days. Link to order is in the description box below. As usual, this coming for a 60-day money-back guarantee and fast free 1-year warranty, so there's no risk at all. That's it. If you'd like to see more videos like this where we help you choose the best lights for your work or adventure, subscribe below and I'll see you on the next video. Alright, I'm Jay signing out.